This was Tutu's participation in a landmark series of BBC documentaries called Facing the Truth. The context was Northern Ireland's conflict of almost 30 years. The documentaries would explore the possibility of healing as victim and perpetrator could sit down at the same table and listen to each other. Tutu's role was key in this exercise.
So I'd done one tour of duty in Belfast, and then it came about that I went back to the Ardoyne.
The army was initially welcomed in 1969 by Catholic communities, but within a year they were seen by many as an army of occupation. There were riots and there were gun battles. In October 1971, Michael McLarnon was killed just yards from his home in Ardoyne by a soldier who claimed he'd shot an IRA gunman. But 4 years later, that soldier, Clifford Burridge, did something unusual. He wrote to Michael McLarnon's family. A civil court later ruled that on the balance of probability, Michael was armed when he was shot. But his family has always rejected this, and they deny he was in the IRA. His sister Mary McLarnon has come to ask Clifford Burridge to clear her brother's name.
Good morning. I welcome you, Miss Mary McLarnon, and you, Mr. and Mrs. Clifford Burridge.
Yes.
Thank you for coming here today, for this is a very courageous and very important step that you have taken to be sitting at the same table. We are very deeply humbled ourselves and impressed that you are willing to come. This is a forum, a safe space in which we hope we can facilitate your story being told.
The pictures of these meetings would later come to touch the hearts of television viewers throughout the United Kingdom who had immersed themselves in this reminder of the tragic history of Northern Ireland. And day by day I was watching the filming of those scenes on a little monitor in an upstairs room at Ballywalter Park. It was not easy. The episodes continued, seemingly endlessly, accounting one violent act after another. And as the stories unfolded, so came the outpourings of deep grief. 3 mourners killed in a gun and grenade attack at a funeral in 1988. The 22-year-old young man near his home in West Belfast by a British soldier. And in the terrible tale told by a serious injured survivor of 18 soldiers killed in a planned double explosion in Narrow Water in 1979. The murder of a senior British officer, and more. This constant retelling of shameful history produced its own echo in each of us, and I was not exempt. One afternoon after work, we were, as usual, standing together talking of the stories of that day, when suddenly, unbidden, there came on me in bursting tears the pent-up accumulation of my years in the SACC during apartheid. Before I was even aware of it, there poured into my heart the pent-up accumulation. Memories of the suffering of my colleagues during that time, and the guilt that acknowledged that it was white South Africans like me who had created that evil.